This will be a short tutorial on how to complete and submit your 2023-2024 annual report. Keep in mind that the annual report is required by Bulletin 741, and it's due each year by May 1st. The data that's collected from these reports are critical for state staff and other supervisory entities to advocate for the program because it gives us a better understanding of the demographic makeup of our FFA members and of our FFA chapters. So in order to complete your report for this year, you're going to go to ffa.org, you'll go to dashboard, and you'll go to your teacher advisor account. Once here, and once you log in, you're going to click on manage your chapter profile. You'll find the annual report on the left side of your screen where it says annual report data. You'll click on that option, and then the report will open. Each of these tabs will be completed by you as the advisor. The first tab will be the AF&R Pathways tab. For this tab, you're going to be entering the number of students that you taught in each of your ag courses. This number can be duplicated, meaning you may have a student who is enrolled in, let's say, Ag 1 and was also enrolled in carpentry. If that student was enrolled in both, you'll count the student on both courses. This is simply telling us how many total students are enrolled in each of our AF&R pathways and in each of those courses. So you'll fill in the number of students for each course. If you don't have any students in that course, just leave it blank. You don't have to put 0, so just put the total number in each course. You'll scroll down to the bottom. We have a lot of courses that are offered in the state in ag. We'll scroll down to the bottom. This grayed out number should be a running total as you're putting your students in. Then you will manually enter the number of students who had an SAE for the year. Hopefully all of your students had an SAE. And then you'll type in manually the number of ag teachers in your program. This could be anywhere from 1 to some of our largest programs have 5. So this will be the number of teachers in your program. Once you complete this tab, make sure you click Save. Once you click Save, you should get a green bar pops up on the top of your screen saying that that particular tab has been saved. Next, you'll click on the Enrollment tab. For this tab, if you are an affiliated chapter, meaning you have 100% membership, this tab is extremely easy to complete because your numbers will populate straight from your FFA roster. So if you click on this Reload Roster Data, all of your students will automatically populate into the report based on what you entered into your FFA roster earlier in the year. So that does make it easier if you are affiliated. If you're not an affiliated program, you can pull what's on your roster, but you're obviously going to have more students in the program than what's on your FFA roster. So you're going to have to manually go in and add the rest of them. So make sure you're in the correct grade level. I don't believe we have any 5th grade programs in the state as of now, but we do have some that start in grade 6. So make sure you click on the correct grade level tab. And for each of these, you're going to go by race and ethnicity, and you're going to go by gender. So make sure that you include all of your students for each grade level by race, ethnicity, and by gender. These options are auto-populated by National FFA, so they've already been included. This is what National FFA is collecting whenever you're putting your demographic data in. So you're going to do this for each grade level. I would say after each grade to make sure you click Save. If you don't click Save, you'll probably lose those numbers. So you'll input that for each grade level of students that you teach. Once you're done and you've clicked Save, you're going to get a gray number pop up in this box. This gray number should be your unduplicated student count. That's the actual number of students that you teach in your program, regardless of which classes they take. To complete this tab, you have to then manually enter in a matching number. So let's say this number ends up being 33. You as the teacher have to hand enter 33. Once you do that, you can click Save, and this tab will be completed. So don't forget to manually enter in that white box your matching number in this gray box. The next tab will be Leadership. For this one, you're going to submit the number of students who participated in different camps and conferences. This is not customizable by our state. So again, we're using the National FFA report. For this leadership training, we'll count this as being your area conferences that were held either in the fall or early in the winter. So for some of your areas, that may have been Colt. For some of your areas, it may have been another training that was held. Typically, they ran somewhere between November and January. So if you had students attend to that area training put on by the area officers, you enter that number here in the area box. Leadership camp is our summer leadership camp. So this is the number of students who went to camp with you last summer at the area level. So you're not going to put anything in the state box for either of these. Once again, this is for area conferences that were hosted by area officers in the spring and winter. This is for summer camp that was hosted last summer. You're going to put those numbers of students in the area tab. And then again, click save. You'll go on to CDEs. This is pretty simple. For each event in which you participated, you're going to put the number of students who competed at each level. So from the local level all the way through the state level. We don't count invitationals in this. There's no place to put it. So if you had a chapter competition, you would include it as local. If you had district events, you'd put it there. Most of you are going to put area and state. If you know that you have students who are going to be competing at the state level, say at state CDEs, and if you're completing this report prior to that date, but you know that they've qualified, go ahead and include them in that state tab. Once you finish all your CDEs, you'll click save. You'll go back up, go to leadership development events, do the same thing. Put in the number of students for each of the events in which you had competitors this year, and then click save. For proficiency awards, you'll include the number of students who submitted proficiency awards in each area. Now, unless you do a local proficiency competition, that's completely up to you. But for our purposes, you only need to include them on the state level because all we do is state competition. So for each of the proficiency areas, type in the number of students from your chapter who submitted a proficiency award. When you're done, click save. Then you're going to go to Ag Science Fair. This will be for students who will be participating in the Ag Science Fair in the summer. So for the number of students that you'll have competing this year, these applications will be due here in about another month or so. Go ahead and include them. Make sure you put the correct division. And again, for our purposes, all we need is state. If you want to do a local competition, that's completely up to you. But this is the number we'll be collecting. So again, your number of students in each of the Ag Science Fair categories if they participated. Once you do that, click save. Once you're completely done with these tabs, this reports tab will allow you to download your most current annual report. There's none here yet because it hasn't been uploaded, but you can also download previous year's reports. When you're completely done with all of the tabs and you're satisfied that the data is accurate, you're going to click submit and the report will be submitted to the state level. Once you click submit, it'll block it out. You won't be able to access it again. You'd have to contact our office if you have to go back and make a change to it. So again, this shouldn't take you a lot of time, but it is extremely important that we get quality data from this report. We need all chapters in the state to submit it and to submit it on time. That way we have an accurate count of how many ag ed students we have in the state and give us a good snapshot of ag education in Louisiana.